Now, supervised is when you actually have a biologist like yourself who actually has names for these. So all of a sudden, which when it's unclassified, the algorithm will say, yeah, I've seen this creature again and again. It's big, and I'm calling it I. The supervised part is when you bring an expert in like you, who give them names, and then you can tie in all of what you know about that creature from other observations. So supervised is when you have what we call a training set. And I don't know how many, I've heard several of you mention machine learning, so some of you might know some of this, the lingo here, but I'm just going to start at baseline so we're all on the same page. With supervised learning, you have to give it examples. You have to say I is a stentor and G is a volvox. And so now it has an image to associate with this label you've given it. And that's called supervised classification. And you'll notice people who work in machine learning spend an awful lot of time creating training sets, because unlike humans who can just have one or two example and do an amazing job, machines still need dozens, if not hundreds of examples, especially as I mentioned this case where you have different views. Our brain is really good at synthesizing the fact that this is the same bottle, even though you view it in different positions. Machines aren't as good as us, or at least I should say yet. So we have to take in consideration, if it looks very different as it changes shape, what do we do? An easy answer to that is you keep on giving it all these different versions and say these are all Perrier plastic bottle. Okay. So here's the summary. On the left is the unsupervised classification, where we take features and the machine tries to separate them in a feature space. And the more features you add, the more chance you'll separate them into groups. And at best it can say is, I have groups A through G, and then it could count how many times it sees those creatures. What's good then is if it does a good job of clustering these, you as the expert can come along and say, oh, A is didnum, and B is paramecium. So you can go from the unsupervised to the supervised world by using a human to label these.